What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So in the past few months, there have been a lot of talk what Classic really is. Especially after Mike Sommerfeld winning the Arnold against a very insane looking Logan Franklin, about whom even Chris Bumstead said looked more classic. And the fans were also divided on the subject of what classic should be. So here is the off-season physique update of a guy whom myself and many others believe is the most classic looking physique to have ever stepped in this division. And no matter how subjective your definition of classic becomes, you look at that belt of Laszlo and you immediately go, that is the epitome of classic. But then the question arises, how come Laszlo hasn't ever placed in the top 10 at the Olympia? Why was he unable to win Texas Pro last year, despite presenting his all-time best? Well, that is very simple. He looks so untouchable from the front. He has the most statuesque physique in any kind of lineup, with that kind of height, the width, the small waistline, and now that his quads have also came up. But the main reason he isn't among the top Olympians just yet, that is his back, and that is the biggest weak link in his physique now. And yes, I know, his quads were initially a weakness for him, but the last show that Laszlo did, the Texas Pro, he presented a very well-balanced physique, top to bottom. And even here in his most recent physique update, the man looks very balanced. And he looks so damn impressive. So one can only imagine how impressive Laszlo would be if he had some room to grow to get bigger. Let's say an additional of 5 to 10 pounds. Unfortunately, that just isn't the case. Now as a tall guy, he's maxed out. But considering that his peak, that did not go ideally for Texas Pro, and him and Patrick, they were still able to present a mind-blowing physique. I for one am definitely looking forward to what he brings the next time he steps on stage, which is gonna be sometime this year. So Hosstile has just dropped some new merchandise, and all the Hosstile supplements and the products, they are tagged in this video. Click the arrow down below and use the code Fazi10 to get 10% extra discount. The 7 times Miss Olympia Heath, one of the greatest of all time, he teases the fans with this story and the most exciting caption. Now we all know that there isn't gonna be a comeback by Heath, but if the promoters, they just put up $100,000 just for Heath to make a comeback and maybe compete for one final time, is that even realistic? Now not many people know this, that Jay Cutler, in his last bodybuilding show, which if I'm not mistaken, was the Olympia back in 2013, he was actually paid to compete. And Jay himself revealed that in his podcast. But $100,000, that just isn't a number that is gonna convince a legend like Heath to put his body through all that stress of competing and getting in shape. And that is just a fact that once you walk away from this kind of lifestyle, there is just no turning back. Although I have to say Heath still looks pretty damn solid. He maintains a very impressive physique all year round. But still that isn't even close to what he looked like back in his prime. Now you can go back and watch some of the videos from the year 2013. That, by the way, in many people's eyes, is the greatest physique to walk on the Olympia stage. So Phil still looks pretty damn solid, standing by himself, but he has been away from the sport for almost 5 years now. So when we talk about the comparisons, he must have lost a lot of density and a lot of thickness. Now Heath must be considering himself kind of unlucky. The prize money in his era, that did move up, but not to a degree to which it went up last year. Now Heath himself said that he would have done the same thing as Samson Dauda if the Arnold was giving $500,000. Back in his day, he would have put his Olympia title on the line and chased that $500,000. Next up, we have an update from Ramon Dino, who looks massive at this phase of the year. So the man has been training with many open pros in this season. He went out to the US and trained with Derek Lansford during those final few weeks before this past Arnold. And now he has been training with Good Vito just 1 week before the Arnold Brazil. So there has been zero talks about Ramon. He kind of lost his hype after not delivering what he was supposed to deliver, his all-time best. In 2024 season, he was runner-up at the Arnold and fourth at the Olympia. Now this statement itself, that is outrageous that Ramon Dino which was far from his personal best in both these shoes, was still good enough to get such high placings. So a guy who has such strong stats, like Ramon Dino does, he can never really be counted out. And I truly believe that just one shoe that can make or break you. So other than Chris Bumstead, all these guys, they are just so close that anyone can beat anyone on their given day. Now Ramon Dino was absolutely spectacular at the Olympia back in 2023, and I think he's gonna build on that this time, as he should. So this is the first time since 2022 he did not do the Arnold. So he has an entire year to focus on just one shoe, the Olympia, and he literally just saw Derek win the Arnold against all the odds, beating the reigning Mr. Olympia. So that must have been very motivating for Ramon Dino. So what are your expectations from Ramon at the Olympia in October? Can he win and just shock the entire bodybuilding world? So Sasan Heirati's confirmation for this upcoming FIBO Germany, that is the best move by him, and realistically speaking, that is gonna be his best chance of winning his first ever pro show and getting his Olympia ticket for this year. This now cannot be considered a weak lineup, as it has two of the former Olympians, Sergio and James. But just compare this to the next show in line, which by the way is gonna be the mighty Pittsburgh Pro. Then FIBO becomes a relatively weaker one. And Sasan, he is just coming off a phenomenal performance from this past Detroit Pro, where he placed second behind William Bonac. Now I am so glad that Sasan decided to make his comeback last year at the Emperor Classic Spain, and that fourth place finish behind Michael Crizo, that did not disappoint him, because Sasan now has a legit shot at winning this show and punching his Olympia ticket. So his strength, that is his midsection and those deeply developed abs, which are rock hard and so separated. And that by the way is the biggest weakness of James Hollingshead. And Sas's side shots, they are also so damn insane. So can he bring an even better package for this upcoming FIBO Germany? He was arguably the most tried guy in Detroit Pro. So this I believe is gonna get really interesting. Next up we have an update from Kusio Can't, just over 6 weeks out from his pro debut, which is gonna be at this upcoming New York Pro. So imagine if Derek, Nick and Martin and possibly Good Vito, they all decide to do the New York Pro as well. Ken would get so much exposure in his first ever IFBB Pro show, because not many IFBB pros, they can say that they went up against two Arnold champions in their first ever pro show. Now Ken is an absolute beast. The size that this guy has been able to pack on since 2023, the year he turned pro, to now, that is just so astounding. Now Ken has also been looking in a pretty solid condition for quite some time now, and this is the best he could do here. We do not believe in the idea that a new pro, he needs to pay his dues to get noticed, and let's just hope that Kusio Can't, he gets a fair look by the judges, despite that potential star-studded lineup at this upcoming New York Pro. Now from all of these posing updates that Ken has posted, I think this guy is gonna get noticed. The moment he walks out and hits that front double biceps, he's gonna have massive stage presence, great quads, insane width, and his quads have been getting more and more separated and more detailed as well. So this is definitely the most anticipated pro debuts in the men's open this year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.